Oh, my stream dropped. Can you make sure that it's
No,
going?
I don't have a nasty attitude about it, but when it comes to God and when it comes to like His provision,
You got to check yourself, though, Ben.
That.
You got to check yourself.
I'm gonna check myself next week. Okay. So
Next
I wanted
week?
to talk about something specifically.
Man, it dropped again. What the heck?
Hey, you there?
Or did it drop? Yeah, it dropped again.
James.
Someone get Bill. Hold on, Ben. Hang on. We're having issues, and I don't want the people to miss your call. No drop on the switcher. Okay. Can you get Bill? Yeah. Are we back on air, guys? I guess we're back. Dropped twice, I think. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2. Okay, I guess we're back. Sorry about that. Stream dropped as a warning. On? No, you're still on air, buddy. You're still on air. It's just that the stream dropped. But we're back.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mossad strikes again, said a guy in a buffalo.
Okay. James.
Yep.
Okay, you're my brother. So I wanted to talk about the January 6th protesters. I'm glad that Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, is doing this. I think she's stronger than every Republican there.
What's she doing?
At least she's speaking about it, you know.
What's she speaking about? What's she saying? I didn't hear about Elizabeth Warren. What'd she say? What did Elizabeth Warren say, Ben? Hello? Ben! Did something happen? Still on the line. Ben? Is Ben acting weird or what? Caller done broke the internet, says this flat. Too spicy. Yeah. Okay, Ben, I'm going to put you on hold just to see if, Nick, if you can, check on Ben. What a shame. Anyway. They cut off Ben's phone line. I don't know what, can you check on Ben for me, Nicolas? Check on Ben for me, because it just went silent on me. Yeah, I saw you the first time, guy on a buffalo. That's funny. Mossad got Ben. What a mess. Let me get to John in San Jose. He has a response to Ben. Weird thing going on with the calls, says Nick. It's doing this to everyone. Oh, they're dropping? Let me check on John, a first-time caller from San Jose. He has a response to maybe there's a stack issue going on too. John, you there?
Yes, sir, Mr. Hake. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Right on.
Cool.
No, I was just calling in to ask you, like, why do you and Jesse Peterson entertain people that are just trying to give you a rough time on the phone? Like, what was his whole point of all that he was trying to say? Like, is he just trying to argue with you? Yeah, is he trying to argue with you?
I don't know if he was trying to argue with me or Jesse or at all, but I know that Jesse loves Israel, and I tend to agree with him because I was raised that way too, to support Israel or love Israel. And support is a loaded word because it means a whole lot of things. There's a whole lot of things that Israel does or the Jewish people here do that is evil. So people tend to put words in your mouth and they jump to conclusions. Oh, you're shilling and stuff like that. I don't know if Ben is thinking like that or what, or if Ben is new to this and heard that stuff or what. But I don't know.
Well,
but Ben's a nice guy generally. So I don't know. He's called many times before. He's a friend of the show for sure. Or he's a friend for sure.
Well, I know also, like how you mentioned to him earlier, like how it says in the Bible that God said he will bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you. In a way, it's kind of like a requirement if you really follow and, love Christ, you love what's right, you love his people, the promise that he made to his people, you're going to respect that and love that.
Yeah.
And you're not going to go against that no matter what. It's not loving the people per se, but it's loving the promise made to the people because God made a promise to them. He never breaks the promise.
And honestly, that's how you should treat everybody. You shouldn't curse anybody. It's not up to
Exactly.
you to curse everyone. You should love even your enemies.
Exactly. Like you guys say, like Jesse Lee Peterson says also, you either love or you hate. You
Right.
can't do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Very
I mean,
true.
all that Middle Eastern,
That
all the,
they're not
battle that's going on
a
and
lot of their
stuff like that.
criticisms. A lot of their criticisms are valid and right, I think. But sometimes whole lot of people get sucked into this false judgment, this false self-righteousness about it.
Yeah, but that fight between, Palestine and Israel, that goes way back to Abraham's days. So it's like, once you understand the root where it came from, then it's easy to understand and weed out what's, the bad and the wrong and follow the right, and love regardless, because this world we live in today, it's just every day we see something more evil on TV and more evil on the news, and we just have to be that light in the darkness. And the way we can reach that goal is by loving. Really.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah.
How old are you, John?
Me? I'm 33.
Oh, nice. Right on.
San
San
I've been
Jose.
listening to you guys for a while.
Nice. That's cool.
And how Jesse says about the fake love of a mother and listening to the woman, how much that gets you in trouble. That's basically what happened with Abraham when he listened to Sarah and slept with her handmaiden. That handmaiden's child is the father of Palestine, and the promise was given to Isaac, which is the father of Israel. So Abraham did what he wasn't supposed to do. He listened to the woman.
Yep.
And now this is what we have.
What a mess.
Exactly.
Yeah, what a terrible thing. Never be into so female-minded. People are so female-minded today. What a terrible thing. You're going to be able to make it to the men's conference, John?
I would really like to, but I'm not sure if my work will permit me to take off that time.
No worries, man. We'll catch you sometime.
I still listen to you guys. I still listen and, learn. I'm always learning.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it, John.
I appreciate your time, Mr. Hake. I'll let you get back to your job. And I was trying to watch you on YouTube right now a little bit ago before I called, but it just cut out. Like the feed just...
Yeah. No, we dropped and restarted a couple of times here just now. It was what a mess. But the engineers are in here fixing things, hopefully. Or they're seeing it. Maybe it fixed itself. Anyway, take care, man.
All right, you too. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.
Ragnar0321 says, wrong, Hake. Criticism isn't hatred. I didn't say it was. You have to call out things that are wrong. It doesn't make you obsessed or full of hate. If you're looking at most of these people, they are full of hate. Most people, period, are full of hate. Doesn't mean that they're wrong in their criticisms, but their spirit's wrong. Their spirits are evil. I'm not saying that it's about you, Ragnar0321, but check yourself and take a look at most of the people. They jump to all kinds of false conclusions about JLP and about me and about they are full of hatred. So watch yourself. That's the point. It's kind of like the alt-right or the whites or the young people, the groypers. Many of them are totally right in what they're saying about what's going on between the Republicans and the Democrats, and they're all evil for the most part. But don't be mad about it. And people turn into snakes. They turn into just as subversive and sneaky and sly and trolly as the people that they're hating. They start acting like the Jews that they hate. It's really interesting. Quickly, before I get back to calls, hang tight. And if Ben wants to get back in or call back in, that's fine, because he got disconnected. Don't know what happened, or his phone went silent. Don't know if it's our end. Don't you agree that funding that goes to foreign aid would be better used in enhancing the space age? Yeah, probably so. Speaking of Trump, I got some headlines for you guys there was a man who called in with a tip about the USMCA, US-Mexico-Canada agreement or something like that, right? It replaced NAFTA, which was a Bill Clinton thing, I believe. NAFTA, which is North American Free Trade Agreement. And the USMCA was Trump's baby, kind of. But he also had to work with Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, the male feminist, the evil person from Canada. And he also had to work with whatever the Mexican president was. I forget who that guy was. They've changed hands a couple of times now since I've been paying attention. So, but according to this U.S.-Mexico trade agreement reporting on it, I had a caller yesterday who said that it's worse than NAFTA because it has this anti-discrimination policies. As we all know, anti-discrimination is a total violation of basic rights and freedom. The freedom to discriminate is basic. Everybody has the right to discriminate. Everybody. LGBT provisions, though, according to this radical homosexual outlet called the Washington Blade back in 2019, were watered down in Trump's USMCA deal. And it's a corrected because Trump agreed to a USMCA agreement with LGBT provisions, but they corrected it, so-called, because everybody hates Trump, right? The radical homosexuals hate Trump. They hate decency. They hate men. They hate Christians. Trudeau pushed language in this trade agreement. He pushed language in the trade agreement, this USMCA. NAFTA, by the way, is what I believe killed a lot of jobs. A whole lot of jobs went to Mexico and out of the country. A lot of manufacturing. I think that Detroit was already on its way down because in part because of the unions also killed a lot of jobs. The corrupt communist unions, which I heard that MLK was supportive. There's a footnote in this trade deal, according to the radical homosexual outlet called NBC News. Did you know that they are evil, radical, anti-Christian outlet? NBC News. How can you get more mainstream than that? Footnote in a trade deal causes confusion over LGBTQ protections. And then there's this pink news. Trump strips LGBTQ rights in the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade deal. Pink news is just off the deep end, female, apparently. And so I saw this American Business Law Journal report from 2020, actually, by Alex Reed, talking about, he calls it NAFTA 2.0 and LGBTQ employment discrimination, from Wiley Online Library from March of last year. And this Alex Reed guy, who's a academic, a professor, he explains, because federal law does not expressly prohibit employment discrimination on the basis of so-called sexual orientation, fake, or gender identity, fake, in other words, delusions, perversions. LGBTQ Americans were thrilled to learn that a preliminary draft of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, under Trump, 2018, included a provision requiring each nation to enact LGBTQ inclusive non-discrimination laws, anti-discrimination laws. So interesting. And that was pushed by Trudeau, according to the far-left radical homosexual, The Blade. That excitement promptly turned to despair, however, after the Trump administration insisted on the addition of a footnote designed to exempt the United States from the provision. That's because there were like 48 very concerned congressmen, I guess, who petitioned the Trump administration about this concern. Trump is not anti-Christian. He's for the Christians. The footnote has been derided by so-called scholars and trade experts alike as a transparent attempt to evade the provision's so-called LGBTQ inclusive mandate. Yep, this is forcing private businesses to not be able to discriminate when they make their hires, not be able to use their common sense on whether to hire or not a person based on this, right? Based on their homosexuality or whatever. Yet, by focusing on what the USMCA does not do, these analyses overlook what the agreement does, and even if unintended, to benefit LGBTQ Americans. What a mess. Shouldn't have even mentioned it. But Trudeau is so pro-delusion and perversion and self-destruction of the gays and companies, forcing them to self-destruct, that he forced this in there. And apparently the Christians are not strong enough to reject it completely. The article provides the first comprehensive analysis of the USMCA's implications for federal anti-discrimination law and demonstrates that regardless of how the Supreme Court rules in a trio of LGBTQ employment cases, the footnote stands to help, not hinder, the cause of fake imaginary equality for the gays, the radical homosexuals, and transgenders and bisexuals and all them mess, right? And I think that's true because it says something like the U.S. is already following it because of something going on with something that's written in the 1965 Act, right? The 1965 has an Anti-Discrimination Act, right? 1965, the Civil Rights. And so they're pretending that America's already following it, but it's not, and now they're going to force American private businesses to follow this anti-discrimination laws. So in a sense, it is an evil thing, this USMCA, or this aspect of it is evil. Evil. What a mess. What a mess. By the way, before I get back to calls, hang tight. I have this clip 14 is a silent clip. The far left anti-America, anti-Christian, anti-truth publisher, not a platform. They pretend to be a platform, but they're publisher. Twitter says Biden's Department of Justice says it can vigorously defend religious schools' exemption from so-called anti-LGBTQ discrimination laws. Very interesting, huh? Biden's Justice Department is saying that, and I think they're saying that to prevent real strong Christian defenders from joining into lawsuits or a lawsuit to defend them because the DOJ is weak. But they're saying, oh, we can vigorously defend your rights to discriminate because Christians, all people have a right to discriminate for any reason whatsoever, but there are laws against it in America. In other words, our rights are being violated by evil laws. And it's so interesting. Play this, it's just a silent video. It shows me scrolling through this Twitter report, right? Because Twitter's a publisher. They push out propaganda all the time and silence the truth frequently. And as you scroll through this, it's silent, so just play it right now. It is look at these outlets, CNN, Washington Compost, and so many more. All of them pro-gay, radical pro-gay. It is crazy. The Daily Beast, evil. LGBTQ Nation, not one Christian represented. The Hill, Michelle Borstein, not a Christian. Tim Seaman, another guy who's like a radical Daily Beast writer. Lauren Ober, with a transgender and gay flag, a radical. Gay Civil Rights these are all Twitter accounts. Oh, see, CAP Faith Initiative. They pretend to be Christians, but they're pro-homosexual. They're pretending that Christians do support homosexuality, which is an utter lie. They want to deceive the homosexuals to think that this one is okay. Beckett. You may have already seen that. I don't know. Beckett is one that's, what a mess. Beckett is one that was faith-affirming. But the whole others, they're evil. 19th The News, Stephen Vitter, bunch of liberals. That's a New York Slimes writer. Terrible stuff. In other words, they didn't. It's about Christians and Christians' rights. Mother Jones is the last one. You're up to date now. Not one Christian represented in that report except for one tweet by a law firm. Amazing, huh? But it's about the Christians, but it's a whole bunch of libs. Sick stuff. Before I get back to calls, real quick, I wanted to share a passage that I saw from the Bible. Luke 10. From Luke 10. This is in the Bible. It's about Jesus. And it's from the King James Version because I know a lot of you guys prefer the King James only. I don't have a big preference about it. But I don't want to be distracting to you King James only people. Aren't I nice? Luke 10, 38 to 42. I like this story. It's funny. It's funny and it's like good and it's people get caught up in the world, right? So here it goes. It's Jesus visiting with Mary and Martha, who were sisters, right? So now it came to pass, he entered into a certain village. A certain woman named Martha received him into her house. This is about Jesus. And she had a sister called Mary. And Mary sat at Jesus' feet. I have actually this a screenshot of this little passage. Martha, Martha. It's called Martha, Martha. So Mary was sitting at Jesus' feet, listening to him. Just sitting there enjoying, hey, there's Jesus, let me hang out. But Martha was cumbered about much serving and came to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Make her help me. I'm translating it into normal English. So what am I even reading King James for? But whatever. And Jesus said to her, Martha, Martha, you are careful and troubled about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is best, the good part, which shall not be taken away from her. So Jesus is like, I'm not going to make her get up and help you with your mess, with your fixing stuff. Make Mary help me fix dinner. Martha, Martha, you're worried and upset about many things, or you're careful and troubled about many things. So, only one thing is needed. One thing, Mary chose the best part. It's not going to get taken away from her. Right on, Jesus. Right on, Mary, sister of Martha. I like that because people get caught up in stuff that they have to do, and they just forget to love. You notice that? They get all worried and uptight. It's so like a woman, but there's a lot of guys that get like this too. What a terrible shame. Martha, Martha. Isn't that beautiful? Let me get to Robert. He has a funny story to talk about in Kansas. How are you doing, Robert?
Hey, Hank. What's up, bro?
Not much. How are you?
Not much. Just hosting a radio show, huh? I'm doing good, bro.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking my call. I know I talk about things I do, so I'm glad you had me on, brother.
You're right on, man.
Shout out to Nick. I talk to him when I call in. He's always so professional and just straight to the point. He doesn't mess around, and I appreciate it. And then you had Snake Pit Security.
Yeah.
Truck driver call in. I want to say a shout out to all the truck drivers.
Yes.
Whether you're black or white or brown or yellow, I don't care what you are. I appreciate what you guys do.
That's cool.
And then you had Ben. Ben is, Hake, as far as taking his call, he's You know, he's how he is. So,
I'll get back with him shortly. I think he's back on the line.
Yeah. Hey, well, let me hurry up then, because Ben, you know, I appreciate him.
Yeah, me too.
The Macron slap, Hake. I don't know if you saw it.
I did. I haven't played it. I don't know if JLP has played it, but I saw Emmanuel Macron get slapped by and it was a girly slap, but he went sideways over it.
My question to you, Hake, was it a female or a man who slapped him? Do you know?
I think it was a man, but it wasn't a very manly. It didn't look like a very manly slap.
Well, see, I've heard both.
Okay,
so
I don't know that.
I can't. Okay, someone slapped the heck out of the French president, and
yes.
You know, it's one of these things where the guy, kind of like our president now, he's destroying the country, but he's been doing so for a long time.
Yeah.
So the people in France are a little more fed up. You know, where we had Trump for a while, so we had a bit of a reprieve from some of the globalist nonsense.
Yeah.
But France has been under that for years, and you know, they you know, the people there are so desperate. They're you know, they're taxing them to death and starving them to death, and you talk about inflation and all that stuff. Hey, I mean, they're making it where the average person just cannot have a decent existence, even if they work really hard.
Yeah, Josh in Georgia mentioned that debt slavery. And you talk about that a lot.
Well, yeah, and I talk about the money on here, Hake, and just the taxation of the farmers, and the price of fuel in France is like $10 a gallon. And if you're trying to work a job, you know, that sort of energy cost goes into everything. So they're being pushed to the limit, and their population is slapping their president.
Yeah,
and it's like, you know, we can see that as, oh well, you shouldn't be that way. At the same time, hey, it's like in some way, like these people are like, no, you are destroying our country, and they're reacting in a way that is you know, they're not being that violent. I mean, he didn't hit him, right? Like if it was a man, he didn't punch him,
right?
Right. So on some level, man, it's like they're just saying, you know, no, you can't destroy us and have nothing happen. And they're being very nice about it as far as I'm concerned.
True.
So, you know, and I don't want to see that sort of thing happen in America. But if things get worse and worse and worse, Hake, you know, the people, if they're hurting, they're going to start.
Right.
No, you know, they're not going to have anything to lose, Hake. Like right now, you know how we talk
so
about
bad.
white.
And they want that evil to come out of the people in response to the evil that's happening to them. You know, the people in control. Like JLP says all the time, they love when a white or anybody gets angry and does some type of violence, because then they have more excuse to clamp down and clamp down and clamp down. They, like JLP says, they want a race war. So then they can take more and more of our rights away. It's so wrong.
Well, they'd sure be scared, Hake, if the races got together, whether they black or white or whatever. They get together and they're like, you know, you politicians are for the corporations. You're not for the people.
Right.
And we're going to get together. And, you know, that's, I guess maybe on some level, that's what scares them, right, is that blacks and whites realize that the government is not just, not trying to just make them fight among each other, but also they're against both of them. So, you know, if they come together and you have blacks and whites standing together saying, you know, hey, you know, we're being taxed and we're being, you know, pushed in this economic position of desperation, that, you know, you might have a reaction. Man, they might have a reaction on their hand where it's not about race anymore, and it is more about are you sucking up all the resources away from the people and keeping it for yourselves, or are you going to start working for us, where you're going to, you know?
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it, man. Great points. Take care. I have pictures of Emmanuel Macron and his wife, just to show you a little picture of what his wife looks like. Looks like his mother. He met her when he was like 15 or 16, and she was his teacher. FYI. He's like younger than me. He's like, I want to say he's 39. Maybe he's my age. And she's like 60 or 65. She's like 25, 30 years older than him. What a mess. Terrible. I didn't really like him, but I liked how he and Trump seemed to get along. But I knew he was a liberal. I don't know why they slapped him. Robert made it sound like they slapped him because of that thing. Let me get back to Ben in New York City. His phone went silent. Don't know if that was his end or ours. We had crazy things going on. What's up, Ben? We got cut off.
We did. But I'm back, baby.
Nice.
Okay. So I heard you spoke a little bit about Macron. He got smacked because he's a beta. They don't love him in his country.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, there's been Paris. Paris has suffered crazy riots and protests.
Forget about it. You got the military basically telling him like, hey, there's going to be full-on civil war if you don't fix the course of your administration.
Terrible.
Yeah.
What a mess.
So yeah, I don't know what happened before, but I want to say Israel is number one, and the Jewish community is the number one community in the world, and everyone should support that.
Huh? Okay, interesting.
No. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Okay.
But I do feel that Christianity as a whole should support more Christian causes. Like, we should be more vocal about things. Like,
yeah.
There's no reason where they could just put something about Jesus Christ in the media, cartoons, sitcoms, and then we're okay with it. It's like, you know, imagine if they were to paint a picture of Muhammad. You know, people's heads would be cut off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Imagine if they were made fun of
evil.
yarmulkes. Yeah, they will shut down the show. So why, as Christians, and I'm talking about North America, South America, I'm talking about Europe as a whole, why do we accept this?
Right.
Why do we accept that they mock our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? We shouldn't.
It's because we're weak. People are weak, and they don't have real authority.
We shouldn't be weak.
Yeah. Got to overcome.
And if we're true Christians, we know, okay, we understand.
But
that Christianity came from Judaism. We understand that.
Right.
But I'm not going to look at a Jewish person the same way I look at as a Christian.
Right.
You know?
Well, why not?
Because I know a Jewish person doesn't have love. They don't have any love.
Most Christians don't either.
Most Christians, quote-unquote Christians.
Right.
But I'm talking about, like, religion. And I'm not even talking about religion as far as, like, denomination. I'm talking about, like, mainline, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to look at a Jewish person the same way I look at a Christian. Like, you guys killed our you know, the...
You're going to hold on to that?
Yeah, they did.
But you did too.
Go to Israel right now.
Then you did.
How did I kill Jesus Christ?
How did they kill Jesus Christ? They weren't alive back then.
They supported that ideology.
So did you when you were lost.
I'm alive right now. How did I?
When you were lost, so did you when you were lost. Were you not lost at one point?
No, not to the point that I hated Jesus Christ. No.
Oh wow, you got to check yourself, man. You have this false self-righteousness about you, man.
I've never hated Jesus Christ. And
that's irrelevant. A lot of people call him Lord, Lord, and he'll send them to the same place that he's sending the people who hate Jesus Christ openly.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's not fine. That's serious, man.
But that's not me.
So you can't be like, oh, I'm better than the Jews because I never hated him. I never hated Jesus.
But that's not me.
That is how you're acting.
No. That is not me. I've never denied him.
I know, but you did deny him. You just didn't openly hate him. But there's no difference to him. He's like, I never knew you. He'll be like, I never knew you to the people who think that they are following him. You got to check yourself, man.
Let me ask you a question.
You seem to have You seem not to
Well,
be checking
let me ask you a
yourself.
simple question. Let me ask you a simple question, and this is I think everyone that's hearing you
All
is
right.
gonna be able to come to their own conclusion. Okay. So, what percentage of Christians, quote unquote Christians from all denominations, are lost in your mind?
99.99999%.
And what percentage of Jewish people are lost in your mind?
100%.
And if you say 100%, okay.
Except for the ones who believe in Jesus.
So by your logic, Christianism is better than Judaism. Yes or no?
Christianity is. But all Christians, many Christians are going to the same place as the lost.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, but you say you don't want to have this weird idea, oh, they killed Jesus. What the heck?
No,
that's like the blacks.
But did they not kill Jesus? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And the people that still follow that religion,
spirit. You have the same spirit until you repent as those who killed Jesus.
So what am I supposed to say? That Jesus never existed when I'm around these Jewish people or Muslims?
You're all over the place, Ben.
So am I supposed to talk to a Muslim and say, hey, Jesus Christ never existed. He's just a prophet. He's just a prophet, just like Muhammad.
Okay, buddy.
He's not the king.
You're missing the point, man. We'll talk again.
No, we'll talk again. But I'm just saying, is that normal?
No, but you're not even really trying to understand. Or, I mean, you're just blind to this point. Anyway,
okay, man.
We'll talk again, man. Appreciate it.
Okay,
Great talking with you, Ben.
I guess.
I guess. Take care. Maybe he said something else. Bibby42 says, lunch is on me today, Hake. Get you a couple of 5-star hot and readies and some Code Red. I don't know what Code Red is. I disavow if it's alcoholic. Oh, it's Mountain Dew? I haven't been drinking caffeine. I have not been drinking caffeine. Hey, pot smokers, eat it. Some of the pot smokers are like, you drink caffeine. That's a narcotic or mind-altering drug or something. It is. It's we should get over all drugs, right? A man is rich in the things that he can afford to do without, right? So I started eating like fruits and vegetables to get the energy instead of... And I've been able to avoid the headaches, too. No headaches. Nice. No tap water today, homie. Thank you, Bibby42. Appreciate that. What a mess. I got to get to Art in Ohio. He wants to talk about the election audits. Art in Ohio, thank you for hanging on there. What's up?
Return of the hate. Return of the hate.
Yeah.
Hey, so check. So it was a guy that was interviewed by I ain't gonna stay on it too long with now, but it's a dude that Jesse interviewed on the Fallen State, and I watched that, and I'm saying this because I want to be harsh on him because he need to get that together, man. But he looked like that shirt with some sauce, like it looked like a slab of sausage. That shirt on that man.
The shirt on Macron?
Yeah, the sports fitness awareness dude.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So the only thing I'm saying about him, they need to audit the school lunch line because I'm trying to figure out who been giving him all the extra lunches in the school because I know he been taking kids' lunch trays, or they need to audit his family because it ain't no way that somebody should be get that thing on big, man.
Right. What a mess.
And then we need to figure out these audits in Arizona and all around the United States so we can get my main man Trump back up in there so we can get some order around here. Because as I'm seeing, these females is running around here like chickens, like with their heads cut off. And I need my dishes done, and I need my laundry done, and I need a lady over here to do that.
Yeah, very true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I need the government to get up out of my business and let me take care of my household as a man. And they let them take care of their little weird liberal households where the woman talking down to the man and he ain't sleeping with her but once every 2 years. So y'all do whatever y'all doing in y'all's house where y'all kids is coming up all weird and let me run my house. Quit trying to tax me and quit trying to turn all the females against me and build up your little gang to try to bring me down to y'all's level, because I ain't gonna never be on your level. I'm a man, you a female. And that's how Father God made it.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get off here. Why they keep talking about all this transgender talk, man? We ain't worried about y'all, man.
Yeah.
We worried about these kids. We worried about the families where the man and the woman is together, and we worried about our kids that the man and the woman has created. We ain't worried about no weird non-factors.
Right.
Back when I was younger and I was in my younger days and I was running around the streets, if I had to keep trying to impress the same people that I was hanging around with every day to try to prove a point, then I might not need to be hanging around with them. So with the transgender, y'all need to shut up, man. At this point, if y'all got to force all this on people, that means they don't mess with you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why would you want to impose on people who don't want you around? It's a great point.
Yeah. Well, it goes against it. But this is how the hypocrites work. They want to say, "Oh, my body, my choice," but you don't want to give me the choice whether I want to be in my kid's life or if I want my kids seeing gay stuff on TV or whatnot. Father God bless you. Tell Chris I like his shirt. Tell Nick he stay professional, and I catch my Paul Jesse later, man. And
that sounds good.
2020, yes, sir.
All right, Art, appreciate you. And Chris says thanks. Take care. Azador says, I'm going to have to defend Hake on tonight's voice chat now. Oh, that's right. He's been doing Telegram voice chats, huh? Nice. Dula in Detroit, Michigan. What's up, Dula?
Hey, how you doing there, Hake?
Doing fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Just 2 minutes, man.
Hey,
sorry.
Are you still on the air?
Sorry to rush you. Yes, we are still on the air. Our stream dropped in the middle of the show during Ben's first call.
Okay, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened, because I was wondering. Okay. I see today you getting a couple of scriptures out. You reading a couple of scriptures.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
And I wanted. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, yeah, isn't that nice? What did you want to do?
I wanted to read a couple of scriptures so you could see. Just to hear your idea, your outcome on who, because I'm gonna read it about a certain people.
Okay, read them fast because we got 2 minutes.
All right. Well, I'll call you tomorrow too, but this is one I want to read. We in Deuteronomy 28. We're gonna start at 47.
Read on.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from one end of the earth, as swift as an eagle fly, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce consonants, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor show favor to the young. Now, that's just a few verses out of this, but it's like 100 verses that explains these people. But who would that sound like to you?
Is that it? I think that sounds like the Israelites, but are you saying that sounds like what happened to the blacks with slavery in America?
Well, yes, definitely. We had to depend on y'all for nakedness, for hunger, and for want of all things. And he said, and he, the enemy that God mentioned, shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Yeah.
But in that same chapter, though, on verse 68, it said, the Lord shall send thee into slavery again with ships, because Moses had just came and got us out of Egypt.
Uh-huh.
He said, y'all keep it up, I'm going to send y'all into slavery again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, he said, you will never see your homeland again. He said, there you shall be sold to your enemies for female and male slaves.
Well, be grateful. Be grateful where you are, Dula. Whatever the case. I gotta run though, man.
Well,
Appreciate that.
I was just asking you who did that might sound like those verses. That's all, man. I ain't trying to,
No, it sounds like
call,
right. But don't jump to conclusions that there's talking about the blacks just because it happened to the blacks too or whatever. Because it happens to people.
I'm saying,
all
well,
over
who
the place.
else? No, wasn't anybody put on ships and sold to somebody?
I don't know. Maybe this happened during those Bible times and not just a couple hundred years ago or 400 years ago.
No,
and to this day.
No, Hake it say, and it shall come to pass. It didn't say it. It didn't happen right then.
Maybe it happened 50 years
prophecy.
later. Maybe it happened 50 or 100 years later. But anyway, I gotta run, man. Interesting.
I'm gonna call you tomorrow, man.
Sounds
we
good.
can finish though, right? We can throw around a couple more.
I'm
Okay.
gonna let you finish. Take care, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you answer. Good looking. All right.
Appreciate it. The HakeReport.com for my stuff. JesseLeePeterson.com for JLP's stuff. Enjoy last quick song for the day from Squad 5-0, Days of My Youth. This is a great song. Remember your God. Forgetfulness is the greatest evil, as JLP said. Remember my God in the days of my youth. Enjoy this from Squad 5-0, and see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Long ago you had a fire that burned so bright. Now it seems it's all but gone. Out inside, you've lost your vigor. You've lost your will to fight. You had a reason to start this war. Now there's a problem. You forgot what you're fighting for. You're giving up. You've lost direction with no direction. You're just another